Oh my God!
One.
Through the table! No!
Two.
Not again!
Three.
Not again!
Four.
Again?
Five.
Fifth time!
Six.
Sixth time! No!
7.
Announce table! No!
8.
Sent through the table by the irresistible force!
I know that Nia represents a lot of people that don't believe in me. I know she represents a lot of the WWE universe that thinks that I shouldn't be here.
We are doing Lana a huge favor.
And I'm going to go out there and prove people wrong.
Welcome everyone to Ring the Bell. This is Diaz.
And the Sriracha Muchacha, Paloma Star.
And I am your dad bod demigod. My name's Joey Mayberry.
This is our news and rumor episode. And I want to start this news with Lana.
Dancing on a chair, dancing on a chair, dancing on a chair. She's dancing on a chair.
I don't know about dancing on the chair, but she's been breaking a lot of tables.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Let's talk about why Lana is going through table every week. The speculation is that because her husband Miro is on AEW, so WWE's feeling petty. And we're like, that does sound like WWE, right?
It does, but I highly, highly doubt that that's the reason that they're putting Lana through a table each week. Like, this seems like a monumental actual push for Lana. It's just done in the worst possible way.
I still feel like they're told her, like, look, you're gonna get a push and you're gonna have all these opportunities, but you're gonna have to go through a table every single week. Like, I guess that's a good trade-off.
After Survivor Series is TLC.
Oh, but how's she gonna face the tag team champions? Like, that's the thing. If it was Asuka putting her through a table each week, that leads to a singles match. But it's half of the tag team champions, and she ain't got no partner.
We can't really use logic in WWE right now. There's nothing really makes sense. But okay, so this is the news right now. So WWE has big plans for Lana going through a table. According to Wrestling Observer Radio, Dave Meltzer talked about why WWE is putting Lana through a table every week, and it is because they want to turn her babyface, turn into a mega babyface. The idea is to put her through a table over and over again, and expect her to be the hot babyface out of this.
So, I was working for a promotion once, and I kept on losing every single match, every single time that I would wrestle for this promotion. And I was just like, okay, whatever. But then the promoter pulled me aside, and they're like, we basically want to build you up as our own personal Mikey Whipwreck. Basically, Mikey Whipwreck was from ECW, was basically this jobber that would keep on losing every single time, and hopefully the fans will get behind him, and finally he wins. It's like, yay, finally he won. And this company told me that I am basically going to be Mikey Whipwreck. I'm like, should I be offended or should I say thanks? But the thing is, once you keep on losing or keep on putting through a table each time, I feel like the fans are either going to be like, I think for Lana's case at least, are like, haha, laughing at you because kind of like you're getting yours thing, or it's going to be a little bit too predictable. Like, we already know what's going to happen. I know what they're trying to do is build up an underdog, but really building up an underdog has to come authentic. You can't make an underdog. You already are an underdog. You can't fabricate an underdog. And I think that's what WWE's trying to do. Seeing it just as a fan, I'm not sympathetic towards Lana. It's just funny. It's just an ongoing gag now.
I agree with 100% everything that Paloma said. And as the Mikey Whipwreck of the Florida scene back when I was full time, like, that literally was me. I was a funny little redneck kid who got his ass beat. And that's what got me over was, hey, this guy shouldn't be a good wrestler, but he can go out and win a match. The thing that you're not getting from Lana is her succeeding at anything. She's getting beat up and put through a table each week. The way to make a babyface look sympathetic is to have them look somewhat capable. And right now, it doesn't look like Lana could beat Nia Jax with a steamroller.
I don't know, especially because Nia and Shayna, they're also in a team. Whatever's happening on Raw makes no sense for me.
I only have one thing that I want to talk about from Raw, and that's it.
But this is not a review, Joey.
Damn it! Okay.
We don't know how it's going to happen. We don't know how Lana's going to be a mega babyface, but that apparently is a plan. So let's see how long this goes for.
I'm interested to find out, like, if other like fans or even like casual fans are getting behind this babyface push? Like, is it just us because we're seeing it under this critical eye? So I guess people of the internet, please let me know, because I'm generally curious. I mean, obviously the people that I talked about wrestling is like you guys. So I just want interested to see what the casual fan feedback is like.
On top of that, I'd like to throw on that I would like to see Lana succeed. I think that she could pull off a really good storyline against anyone if they let her play to her strengths, be an actual underdog, cut some promos, not just walk out there, scream, and get put through a table each week. Give me some substance to latch onto.
Well, let's stop talking about underdogs. Let's talk about the top of the top of the top of the top dogs. The Charlotte Flair, because she's interested in a dream match, Michelle McCool. So Charlotte Flair versus Michelle McCool, I think, is in a lot of people's dream match list. And Michelle McCool actually talked about it on WWE Bump.
Do you at least leave the door open for a potential dream match between you two sometime down the line?
You know, if they ask, I would probably be there. They haven't asked. But I think the comparisons were drawn really early on, just from our stature, from our looks, from our athleticism. But, you know, she's 10,000 times more athletic than I could dream of being. But that would be super fun to mix it up with her in the ring. She's got a great style. She knows how to tell a story, obviously.
And Charlotte Flair responded on Twitter with the emoji saying she wants it too. What do you guys think about this pair?
Here's the thing.
Okay.
I love them both, but I feel like they're kind of the same role. Honestly, like Michelle McCool kind of was the Charlotte Flair of her day. Like she was the powerhouse blonde chick. I love seeing people paired together because they have similar styles, but I don't know if that putting people together because they're similar doesn't automatically make for a great match.
I can see why they want to wrestle each other. They're kind of like the best of their own era, or at least like really respected, and you know they were good. I just interested to see what the storyline would be. I almost, if it wasn't married to anybody but The Undertaker, I'd be like, next tag match. But how weird would that be? Undertaker and Michelle McCool versus Charlotte and Andrade, you know, like, I don't see why they want it. I don't necessarily say that it would be my dream match or a top even 10, but I'm sure they'll have a match. It'd be good.
They're so similar. I want to see it because of that. And Michelle McCool obviously is top of the food chain in women's division back in her days. And Charlotte Flair, even though she's away right now, she also is top of the game. So it's like the queen versus the queen. Who's going to win? Who will get over pushed more? I don't know. I'm kind of curious.
Like these type of matchups is like fantasy booking matchups and dream matches, which of course we all have our own dream matches that we would love to be a part of or would like to see, is that it's never in the other person's prime. You know, like it'd be perfect. We could go back in time and go Michelle McCool's prime versus Charlotte Flair's prime. And we like romanticize what this match would be, but it's always so hard to do this because while Michelle McCool is awesome and was really good, I mean, she's not at her prime as of what it was now. I mean, no shade to her whatsoever. Definitely giving her the credit it's due. But I feel like this would love to see everybody go up and some match up in their prime. I know that's impossible, but I just feel like sometimes we think about these matches would be great because we think about the people who are involved in their matches at the very, very best.
The thing about Diva era people coming back in this women's era is that because they weren't able to show 100% back in the days, we want to see them show their fuller potential. I want to see this match happen. I mean, we've seen Trish Stratus always get that spot, get that big return, get that storyline. I don't think we've seen anyone from the Diva era other than Beth Phoenix that gets that highlight, that spotlight. So Michelle McCool, even though she was such a big name in that day, I don't think she ever gets that recognition for some reason, which is surprisingly.
Well, I think I have an answer for that. And I was trying to think about it as you guys were talking about both these women being at the top of their game. Michelle wasn't at the top of her game by herself, I think is another factor. She was at the top of her game with Layla. Because like Michelle in her first single run, like first ever Divas champion, wasn't the best Michelle McCool. The best Michelle McCool was Laycool. She did not have that promo. Could you imagine a straight Michelle McCool, Charlotte Flair in the middle of the ring promo? Oh, girl.
But speaking of Layla, I know that everyone's asking for that freaking interview. We're trying to schedule a reshoot. We had some technical issue with the first round. I wanted as much as you guys wanted. So that's the news on that.
She wants more reshoot. She's insatiable.
She did tell me that she's not insatiable.
I don't even know if I am insatiable. Like, I always wondered, am I insatiable? I don't know. Am I insatiable?
Love it.
It's what she said. But anyway, let's talk about Xia Li, because she is insatiable, unhappy with whatever's happening in NXT. So this is what happened. Xia Li apparently was scheduled to be in an amateur kickboxing fight, and WWE learned about this, and they pulled her out of the match. So Xia Li's very upset about it.
I would be too. I'd be like, okay, you're going to make me stop doing this. What do you have for me?
Good point. And then I feel like you don't want to have your superstars hurt doing something else, but also they could get hurt legit taking a step or walking or doing everyday activities. You're not stopping them from doing that. And also I feel like if she would go out there and kick ass, because I know she would, because I follow her on Instagram and she's like legit like a kickboxing champion or some sort of martial arts champion. I don't want to get it wrong. How cool would it seem for her character that she went out and have a legit kickboxing match and kicked ass? And how cool would that been? Them pulling her out of that kind of makes me feel like they might not have fully believe her that she could win, because also she lost this 2 kick fight match. How bad would that look for her character too, Because I remember when Mark Henry went to go back and do the whole World's Strongest Man, Vince told him, you better win because there's no place in the company for the world's second strongest man. So he went out there, kicked ass and won. So I kind of feel like they could have presented this to her too. We're going to let you do it, but you better go out there and make sure you kick ass and you win the whole thing. I can see both sides. It is disappointing though that they pulled her out of it.
Yeah. So apparently Xia Li went straight to Triple H and had an honest conversation. She felt that she was ready for more opportunity to be pushed on TV, and Triple H reportedly appreciated Xia Li's initiative to get more chances. So I think we've had this conversation while I was interviewing tons of people that got released from NXT earlier this year. There's so many people that's just not getting what they think they deserve. There seems to be a lot of unhappy people down there.
Oh, yeah. You've got this giant stacked mountain of a division. And for somebody who like Xia Li, who's been at the bottom of the totem pole for the longest time, Xia Li's pretty much only gotten a Royal Rumble appearance each year. That's what they do with Xia Li. She's done nothing else. They're not pushing her in any direction. And when you said, oh, I appreciate you, oh, my skin crawled, because I've been in so many situations with employers where they're just like, first off, I appreciate you bringing this to my attention. I'm like, oh, okay, so that statement means that nothing's going to get done for me right now. That's exactly what you just said. You know what? Girl's got a reason to be mad. Let her go out and do something. You got Dana Brooke flexing it up in the Arnold Classic when she was in NXT. Let this girl go out and do something, because God knows you ain't got nothing for her.
I think the other thing that we're noticing is that a lot of the homegrown talents are just stuck there doing nothing, while the indie talent has been, kind of cutting the line and going to the top.
Not Santana. Santana said what?
We've seen likes of Shotzi Blackheart, Mercedes Martinez, who got some big matches. They recently came into the company, and people who've been in the company for a very long time, like Casey Catanzaro, Xia Li, they're just keep being pushed down the totem pole. So I could see them being very frustrated.
Totally. And I think the only way for them to get better, obviously, since they're newer in the business, is for them to get experience, and they can't get experience and get better if they don't get a chance to.
I wonder if NXT live shows are back. They're not, right? So I guess they're not even getting those chances to showcase their abilities, so I can see the frustration just keep going up. But let's talk about another talent that is coming to WWE, and it is none other than Meiko Satomura from Mae Young Classic. According to Tokyo Sports, the legendary Meiko Satomura is set to join NXT UK as an in-ring talent and as a coach. The newspaper also reported that Satomura is set up to participate in NXT UK this November.
I love UK's women's division. There's such a good plethora of talent there between Kylie Rae, Piper Niven, Nina Samuels. You've got Xia Brookside over there, who's such an underrated talent as well. Killer Kelly, Aoife Valkyrie, then to throw Meiko Satomura into this. guys, this division could be the women's division that no one's watching, that everyone needs to.
I saw a documentary back from the 90s that showed Meiko doing the stiffest drop kick I ever seen in my life. Like, I have to send it to you guys. It is insane. And it was during training. Like, it wasn't even during the show or something. It was to a young girl training. Like, a young girl couldn't get the drop kick right, so she like just threw her off the ropes, and oh my gosh, drop kicked her. It was insane. But I just think it's awesome. I'm so glad. She definitely deserves to be everything because she's amazing for so long. But I almost feel like, to your point, Joey, is like, the UK women's division is already really good. Like, like having her as a coach is going to elevate them to crazy levels, almost to the point where I think her skills as a coach and as a trainer might be even better in Florida, where there's more talent to be developed. Like, I feel like the UK is already good as it is, but I feel like maybe they could bring her over a few times and have a special spots, because I feel like she could spread her knowledge a little bit more where it's needed.
Also, she is spreading knowledge to the NXT UK women's division. I'm just looking at Aoife Valkyrie, somebody who's already got deadly striking ability under the tutelage of Meiko. Y'all, a couple years, this is going to be scary.
Mayo Classic 2, Meiko Satomura, definitely, she stole the entire show for me. Every match that she was involved with was so good. For us to be able to see her in weekly basis, potentially weekly basis, seems like it's going to be amazing. It's going to be amazing. Let's go to the Impact news. So this is kind of a sad news because Impact Wrestling Bound for Glory pay-per-view just happened, and we were supposed to have a Knockout Women's Championship match between Deonna Purrazzo, the Virtuosa, and Kylie Rae. Obviously, that match didn't happen last minute, and instead of Kylie Rae, we saw Su Yung make her return from Susie. And then she took that women's championship away from Virtuosa. So the big news was that, where is Kylie Rae? The update from that whole situation is Kylie Rae announced on her Patreon that she is not well and she is no longer a professional wrestler. So she has announced a retirement from pro wrestling.
I'm a little more confused and honestly probably frightened for Kylie a little bit. Maybe it's stress, maybe it's anxiety. No one really knows exactly what's going on, but this is like the second time she's just kind of said, I'm up and done with wrestling. And to me, that doesn't seem like somebody who's really at a place where they're feeling good about themselves and what they're doing. And it's just an alarming thing to see. I hope that she's well.
I know it was a little bit scary for most people around the situation, because for a while there, they couldn't locate her or get in contact with her, but they knew she was in Nashville for Bound for Glory. So I'm sure everybody was like freaking out for a little bit, but I'm glad she's okay enough for her to be able to give some sort of update. I mean, it's her own personal life. I wish her the best. Definitely hope she gets the help that she needs, whatever that is. But I think the internet and social media and the whole wrestling world in general is handling this announcement better than the first time, because I remember the first time this whole happened, it was a whole debacle and everybody was trying to get clues and what she tweeted and what she posted, and we're speculating about her even though people were never even met her or talked to her. It was just a crazy witch hunt for really no reason other than her own personal reasons. But I just feel like everybody in the wrestling world is treating this one a little bit better.
Kylie Rae is absolutely very, very talented. So it's very sad to see her go through this, but hope she can get the help that she needs.
And I hope people do understand that. I feel like a lot of people see people on a weekly basis on TV or follow them on Instagram or support them any way that they feel like they know them or they know what they're going through, or she's so happy all the time. She's smiley Kylie Rae, but you just really don't know what anybody's going through unless you are with them and know them personally. So all you can do is wish her the best and whatever she decides to do going forward. And I just hope people are way nicer about it to everybody, not just her.
Lastly, there's another sad news. WWE has been cracking down on the third-party app uses of their superstars. For example, Twitch and Cameo, they've been cracking down. So we saw a lot of the superstars pull a plug on their Twitch account. And so we saw Mia Yim and Zelina Vega get off Twitch. We've actually seen Paige breakdown talking about Twitch views and that she can't deal with WWE anymore.
Broke my neck twice for this company, dude.
I almost cried, legitimately. It was just very sad. It was just a person who's literally sitting there going, I broke my neck twice for this company, and now they don't care what community that I built here outside of them. And it was just heartbreaking.
That video was really sad, and I'm surprised that even Paige, even though she's not an active wrestler, she needs to follow that strong grasp from WWE still to this day. I'm very surprised about that.
It's like I feel like with her, she's almost being like held hostage. Like there's no in-ring, return as of right now, at least. But she's also like not doing anything. So she's getting paid to do nothing, basically, which sounds great to some people's eyes. But for somebody who is a wrestler and a performer and used to be in front of people and wants to do something, I'm sure that is very heartbreaking. And it's like you're stuck in between a hard place and I don't know what that's
a rock and a hard place.
There you go. Yeah, where you want to do something but you can't. So I totally feel for her for that. And then also it's like a different way of interacting with fans and having that accessibility, being seen more as a person and stuff like that. But it's just, I don't know. I think it's a little bit too far. Like I get the WWE not wanting them to use their wrestler name and how they have to use their shoot name, but then for shutting it down altogether, I think it's a little bit too harsh.
Especially for people who are just trying to make some money, not even make money. Like, who knows exactly what Paige's whole deal is? Maybe, like you said, it's just to bring that community together, to have something to do. Because this is a woman who, she's done so many things for that company, even outside of the ring. You've got WWE Backstage, which she was hosting. You had her being a general manager for a while. And she was able to step into all those roles, and nothing was ever gracefully taken from her. It's like the rug always got pulled out from underneath her, and they just said, we're going in a different direction. So I really feel for her.
Well, WWE's already come up with their own version of cameo type of deal, the virtual meet and greet. And we've also seen some of the wrestlers get their own shows on WWE Network in their own umbrella. So we'll see how things go. This will be a very interesting development. Let us know what you think about this whole third-party situation down in the comments section. And that is our news for this week. Thank you so much for tuning in. Paloma, where can we find you?
You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Paloma Star. And where can we find you, lovely faces?
You can find me at Joey_Mayberry on Instagram and Twitter, Dadbod Demigod on TikTok, or you can check out my YouTube channel. I got one of them. They're right on here.
And you can find me at DS and Ring the Bell DS on Twitter. All right, bye.